Hello guys and welcome back. My name is Ryu and I'm here today playing some more Buried. Now it's been, I don't know, maybe about a week since I last played, and personally I very much enjoyed it. It is kind of unique, I guess, in the sense it's not really a game as much as it's an interactive story, which I mean technically is what it is, of course, but you don't do anything except for tell the story and you pick your options. I'm a huge reader, so I personally very much love it. I very much enjoy it. I don't know if you guys do, but I hope you do. And I haven't really done too much of it, so I plan on, hopefully getting. I think it's split into 5 chapters, so hopefully maybe I can finish the first chapter in this one. If not, man, then maybe the next episode I do. But let's go back over what happened last time we watched you. Basically, from what I remember, a sort of explosion happened, and everybody was separated, and I woke up my guy. I cannot remember if it told me what my name was or not, but I woke up, everybody in my little construction company is missing, and I went looking for them. I found one of them, but he was squashed. Like, literally squashed by like a truck or a tractor, something that fell on top of him. And I ended up getting injured because of one of the things I picked while I was trying to pull the guy out in hopes of saving him. And then I also happened to have found Dennis, who was a close friend of the guy who died, who was injured, and I told him about his friend who died. I don't know if that was a good option or not. I hope it was. I felt like it was better to be honest with him. But Dennis is pretty injured, and I was carrying him through the forest to try to find this weird noise that we were hearing. And I happened to come upon a little, did it say right here anywhere? No. But as you can see in the picture, it's like the door inside of a building, inside of what looks like maybe a rock or something. And that's pretty much where we stopped it right when we were about to go into it. So, let's jump on back in. Okay. It's a massive corridor, in fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realize someone might not appreciate finding us here. So right off the bat I have to decide, do I want to go quietly and slowly or quickly? Quietly would probably be the better option, but I also have Dennis who's pretty much bleeding out on me. But on the other hand, he probably can't walk that fast anyway, so... What is this again? Oh, I don't want to reset the game, no. So I think I'm going to tiptoe quietly. I don't want to bother anybody who might not be here, because this could be... Who knows, it could be like a fucking military base that we're not supposed to be in here and they'll shoot us if they see us. So let's just tiptoe. Be safe about it. I feel like a ghost. Like I truly have no business being here. Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. If anyone is here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down the stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly, and is visibly making an effort to not fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Well, just from this little bit, I feel like Dennis might end up being a little bit of a problem later on. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand how he feels. You know, you're a big tough guy and you don't like to have to rely on someone else to help you around and make sure you're okay. I completely get that shit. But on the other hand, that could also show that he might have the personality type that he'll kind of push through into something that could be problematic for us later on, or he could cause issues. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just, I guess you could say, a feeling I get. Could be completely wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like something's going to happen with him that he'll somehow be related to some kind of issue. Of course, I'm probably going to be the one who causes all the issues anyway, because I'm the protagonist. It's always their fault, right? So anyway, let us continue. Those looks like some dirty stairs. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. Hey, that down ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps before he is leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished the marathon. Oh, so should I give him a break or should I keep up the pace? I mean, I don't really feel like there's a huge need to rush, other than the fact that obviously he's injured. If we don't hurry, he might die because he needs help. But on the other hand, I don't want to strain him too much because I don't know if that could cause more problems. You know, I'm pretty sure he's bleeding pretty bad somewhere, and if I strain him, it might cause him to bleed more. But I'm not sure. Let's just try to help him more as much as we can. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. Oh, I picked the right option for once. As we both squat down on the stair, should it be stairs? My mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times. Frank is the one who died last time, I believe. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out the classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so, which sounds pretty nice. Maybe I could still find them, and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "Alright, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fare seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1 Entrance Gate, Transport Sector. And there's a button with no label. What reason do I have to expect the panel anymore? I can't think of what reason, except for maybe it tells the label, but I assume that, what's the point of it? I mean, obviously the button probably does something to open the door or whatever it is. And then as to what I said a minute ago, I'm guessing I was wrong again. It has been quite a few days since I last played the first episode, but Frank and Joe are the ones who are still alive. The one who died was, God, I cannot remember his name. I feel so bad. But yeah. So those are the two that are still alive that I'm looking for. Hopefully, neither of them are dead. or injured or anything. It'd be nice to find someone who's not injured, huh? Well, what do you think, guys? Should I push the button or expect the panel? Push the button it is. I give the button a push. One of the rings on the panel flickers to life. Outage. That's all it says. Then it goes dark. Oh, it then goes dark. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert level system of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged. Experiment in progress. Shutdown engaged. They all appear to be off. But one of the phrases has a slow, blinking red light next to it. The only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going? I ask. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry? Yes. Upset? Yes. But Dennis is never scared. So, is there something he's not telling me, or is this about the light stuff he saw? Because I remember in the last episode he told me that he saw a ball of light come out of the ground, and somehow he got knocked out from it or something. And I remember finding Frank's phone, I believe, next to a giant, just perfectly cut, removed from existence hole in the ground that I theorized was caused by the balls of light. Which is why I think Frank's probably dead, because I feel like the balls, maybe they came out of the ground and they touched something and they just erupt and whatever's there just gets evaporated or something. But again, not too much obviously has been revealed because we're still just trying to get somewhere. So let's go over more about what he saw and what's so dangerous, because obviously he won't really know what's dangerous other than what he saw, so it probably tells me the same either way. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling. But we don't have any radios at the site. It was... I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving. I gave him a doubtful look, and he cast his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says. But I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor. Feeling death and gloom everywhere. I'd been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had just become background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify. But it just doesn't belong here? That didn't really explain anything. I mean, why would whatever it is that we found not belong in this place that we have no idea what the place is? I mean, yeah, that really doesn't give too much. I mean, obviously it's a cliffhanger, so it's going to end chapter 1 with a cliffhanger, but I didn't really feel like you really learned much of anything about that, other than the fact that, you know, Dennis felt like he saw something in the forest, but, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still intrigued to find out what it's about to tell me, and as such, let's move on to chapter 2. Respect the dead. So it's going over the things I did in the chapter, so it doesn't just go right to the next thing. So 64% of the players pulled his body out. 76 of them were upfront about it. 55 told them they believed his story. 75 went to investigate, and 64 brought Dennis with me. So evidently, obviously these are the more common choices. You only get 2 choices anyway, so you pretty much have 50-50 chance. But I pretty much mostly picked, well, I entirely picked the one that most of the population picked so far. So hopefully that's a good thing. Or else, we all just make bad decisions that's going to get everybody killed. But, let's be positive. Let's believe we're going to save everybody, Find that little rainbow at the end and just be happy. And nobody's going to be dead. I feel like there's more. I feel like there's going to be some kind of monster or something. Just from what Dennis said. Like something not human is going to be there. We're standing on the thin platform of what looks like a fancy subway. The rails look well used but not old. There are small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they're running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the place makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, the tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. But there's a small light further ahead, and then a space that breaks the monotony. I can't say that very well, sorry. The monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe? Sorry, I usually read in my head. I'm not very good at talking out loud or reading out loud, so you have to forgive me. So, I can either ask Dennis, what do you think the subway tunnel is? Because, it's obviously some kind of subway tunnel. Or I could say, why the fuck we here? I feel like, why the fuck we here makes more sense. But, whatever. Dennis doesn't answer. The reality of what we are seeing is sinking in. Whatever this place is, it's buried way underground. That seems impossible to me, making anything that's on the other side of this tunnel dangerous as far as I'm concerned. But of course, we are going to go on. Human curiosity is going to see to that. Also, the ringing noise is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound. Something like the faint hum of machinery. What's your take on this, boss? You think we're safe here? Dennis asked. Not at all. This is what I think to myself. But I don't want to let Dennis see that I'm rattled. While he seems to be limping along much better than when we first stumbled into this place, he's still in rough shape. God, I'm so bad at talking. I'm leading him here, and I should probably make him feel confident in that. So basically, I'm just straight up saying, I pretty much, it just told me what to pick. I mean, I can either say I'm creeped out, or I should do what it told me to do, which is say, yeah, we'll be fine. Which, I mean, honestly, I think saying, yeah, we'll be fine is the better option anyway, because, why do I want to make it harder on the poor guy, or even on myself, really? So, of course, we're gonna go with, yeah, we'll be fine. I reassured Dennis. So that was another important thing. Okay. We're too far in to go back, I say. Besides, if we get caught for trespassing? God, I'm so bad at talking. I'm pretty sure we'll slide by. We're good. You're in pain, and we've got to find the rest of our crew. He could still be in here somewhere. Dennis nods and looks reassured, a bit weak and miserable. From the looks of it, we can either go left or right. The left is slightly lit, the right not so much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in a place like this could have us wandering for hours. Suddenly, I jerk my head to the right as I hear the unmistakable sound of somebody walking. Did you hear something? I asked Dennis, my eyes straining to see anything in the darkness. Not sure, he says. Maybe? It kind of sounded like footsteps. I wait a moment, but the sound doesn't come again. So those are options. To the left are flickering lights, indicating that we'll at least be able to see. There's also the hum of machinery, a sign of life. To the right is just darkness, but we also heard footsteps in that direction. Okay, so... oh man. So basically I can go left to where I know there's machinery and lights, and I feel safer, which could pretty much mean nothing because, you know, what the difference does the light usually make, probably. To the right, it's dark and scary, and I feel like I could just get killed by those footsteps. But on the other hand, that could be one of my crew I'm looking for, that could be whoever works in this base. I, again, still assume military or something like that, because it's always military, right? Or it could be something else. I mean, I still feel like there's going to be some kind of monster or something to the game. Especially when I said something about outside entity earlier. I feel like there's something bad, but that's a tough decision. I think I'm gonna go right because I like to go the scary way. I don't like to go the scary way. I already regret this. I'm gonna die. If there's anyone here that worth speaking to, right it is. Damn straight it's right. The right way is the right way. I hope. Don't kill me. I don't want to die. As we leave the glow of electric lights, things instantly start to feel a bit more sinister. I look at Dennis's injuries again. The gash along his side is inflamed now. And while the bleeding seems to have stopped, the mount that has soaked into his pants and shirt is beyond alarming. How much farther can you walk? I ask him. Can you keep going? Yes, Dennis says. Let's walk into the deep, dark tunnel that has no business being here. Sarcastic, I like him a little more now. He's right. The darkness we find ourselves in feels thick, like walking in syrup. That doesn't really make sense to me, but maybe it's because they're afraid. I am reminded of the fear I felt as a child when I had to go in the basement to fetch tools for my dad. I was sure there were snakes or spiders or monsters of unimaginable horror lurking down there. I feel the same way here, walking through the tunnel. That's when I see a human figure, far in the tunnel, shilleted, I think that's how you pronounce it, in the faint light at the end. He's standing on some other platform up ahead, and likely can't see us. It looks like he might be holding a gun, but it's too dark to be sure. Oh, goddammit. So basically I have to either talk to him and get his attention where he might be a killer and should kill me, or I can be quiet and get close to him where he might get surprised and kill me. All of that just seems like a bad option. But on the other hand, if I let him know I'm there and he's not gonna want to hurt me, then that's better protection. But on the other hand, if I get close to him quietly, I might be able to see for sure and then say something. I'm unsure. Should I go loud or quiet? We've been quiet so far. I'm just gonna stay quiet. I mean, if it feels like it's not gonna just kill me like that, I hope so. This person might be dangerous. Dennis, I whispered. Don't move. Be quiet. We both watch as the figure looks back and forth down the tunnel. It's unclear if he's looking for something or if he's just as lost as we are. But he can't see us in the dark. After a moment, the figure rushes away through a door. Why didn't you say anything? Dennis asked with a disgusted tone. Maybe we could have gotten some answers. I don't want to reveal ourselves to anyone who looks like they might have a gun until I know more about where we are, I reply. Which to me makes sense. I mean, obviously, I know Dennis is hurt and we need fucking help, but on the other hand, what if we're not supposed to be here and they're gonna try to kill us when they find out we're here, you know? It hasn't really, you know, given any hints on if we're in danger of being here or not. As we head farther into the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's light coming from the platform, but like the overhead lights, they are dim, red emergency lights. I start to wonder if the explosion at the logging site caused a power outage in this place, whatever this place is. The ringing noise that I originally thought was in my head is getting louder. I'm starting to think it's some sort of alarm. When we come to the large open area ahead in the tunnel, it farther resembles a subway station. As much as I try to ignore the reality, it's undeniable. We have stumbled into some sort of high-tech transportation system that is buried beneath the forests of Kentucky. It makes absolutely no sense and creates an entirely new sort of fear as to what the hell we walked into. I noticed that Dennis seems confident though. When we reach the large opening, we have to climb over the rails and onto the platform. I have to help Dennis over the rails and then up a small utility ladder that is bolted to the opposite side of the travelway. When he reaches the large open area resembling a subway waiting area, he collapses on the floor and lets out a heavy breath. You know what? Dennis says. God, I cannot talk. Expacerated? I can't pronounce it. Again, I apologize. I'm not very good at talking out loud. This is ridiculous. I quit. I'm not going any farther. On top of worry about my crew and the madness where we are, I'm not in the mood for Dennis to act like a baby. Okay, so I have to be either I can be tough on him and tell him to pull it together, or I can be nice to him and support him and push him. He feels like the type who doesn't really like being told what to do. But on the other hand, from what I've seen, is also the type that, you know, he doesn't really like me. He doesn't really like having to rely on me as much as, you know, maybe someone else would. But I think I'm gonna tell him to pull it together, you know, be more rallying, you know. Oh, I put it in an irritated way. Oops. I didn't mean that in that way. I meant supportive, but I'm ashamed that I'm getting irritated with him. Oh, you think I'm just relaxing here? He asked sarcastically. Sorry if I'm slow in your progress. Great plane you got here, by the way. His response makes my blood boil. I don't need this shit from him right now, that's for sure. I mean, I get how he feels. He's badly injured, and I just, you know, I wasn't being very understanding, and I thought, when I put that, I thought it meant like, you know, I'm pushing him, rallying him in a supportive way, not in like an aggressive way because he's irritating me. If I'd known that, I would have picked this one. You know, I don't want to be a dick to him. He's probably in a lot of pain, and he's walked a long ways with me, and as someone who's had injuries before, I can understand how difficult that can be, especially when I've never suffered a giant gash on my side where I'm bleeding a huge amount of blood. So, why would I yank him? That's gonna open his wound that finally stopped bleeding. So that seems stupid. I can't stand the guilt anymore. A sappy apology comes out of my mouth before I can clamp my lips down against it. I'm sorry I lost my temper, I say. It was uncalled for. But I'm under some stress here, as I'm sure you can understand. He hesitates for a moment, and I'm sure as hell he'll ignore me. Oh, I read that twice, so whatever. But he surprises me. I get it, he says. Apology accepted. As for me, sorry I was being a jerk. Apparently, bleeding out makes me kinda high-strung. Dennis is always high-strung, and about 2 harsh words away from trading punches with someone, but I keep that to myself. Yeah, but I kinda get how he feels, so. We exchange an awkward look and put it behind us. It's no different than some argument we might have had on the job site or over a few beers. One thing is for sure. I'd much rather argue with him over a few beers than here in this nightmare. I reach down, help him to his feet, and then we get ourselves up on the platform. Right in front of us there's an entrance to a long hallway, exiting the platform area. It's at this point that I realize these red mercy lights might be on for someone else who's actually supposed to be here. Like that guy I saw earlier, standing on the platform. Wait, what? Did I? Maybe I misread that. Let's see. I mean, obviously the red lights would be for people who work there, so they would know something's off or something. But does it mean like someone who's directing them? I don't know. I mean, I already stayed quiet once. Should I stay quiet continuously, or should I yell out to see if someone can hear me? I mean, Dennis got annoyed me when I was quiet last time. And honestly, I still think that was probably the better, because if there's a guy with a gun, I don't really want to, again, make noise, but maybe I should yell out? Ugh, the choices. I think I'm just gonna stay quiet still. I'm still not sure if I want to alert anyone to the fact that there are strangers in this secret place. And the thought of hearing a scream, even my own, in this empty place is too much to bear. My guy, he needs to get some balls. At least that's what I think. The emergency lights continue to flicker overhead, casting a sick sort of pinkish light on everything. My mind is racing with what sort of place this might be. It's obvious that it's meant to be a secret, and if it is supposed to be a secret, and there was a power outage recently, maybe most everyone has been evacuated. But then, why was that one person still there? This thought does nothing to make me feel any better as we walk towards the platform exit. We step inside and it seems just as empty as every other place we've come through, weakly illuminated by more overhead emergency lights. We're standing inside a hallway that looks surreal for the moment. Hey, well, that last little bit was kind of boring. And, you know, I'm just talking about what's right there, but I would rather end the video on something a little more exciting, but I'm afraid this is all the time I have for this video. So, I guess we'll have to end it with the most exciting thing being the argument. I mean, so far the story is pretty interesting. I like where it's going, you know, it's just getting a little, I don't know, maybe darker feeling as obviously our emotions are starting to get a little better from us due to stress and injuries and a couple other things, and we're starting to, it seems like we're slightly turning on each other there, but I was able to kind of quell that for a little bit to calm down our little problems, which again, I don't know, that might come back up again later. It just does seem like he has some kind of anger issues and he might be problematic later on, but I don't know. I still think I went the right way of not calling out to the person. I mean, maybe I should have. I don't know, but everything just makes you feel like I might not be wanted here, and people might try to, you know, kill me for being here. This is obviously something super secret. But yeah, so for now we'll stop here, and hopefully in the next video we'll dive a little deeper into it. As I'm really hoping, at least. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I know this isn't my usual gameplay stuff. You know, I like to try a couple things differently, and as someone who loves to read, although more to myself personally quietly, not out loud, I really enjoy doing this video and this game so far, and I really like the story so far. So I really hope you guys enjoy it too. If you do, please, you know, leave a comment in the like section, or in the comment section. Just let me know, for those of you watching, if you do enjoy it and you like to see more of this, or if you're not really too into it. Yeah, so, you know, please, you know, leave some likes, and God, why do I keep saying likes? Some comments. And if you guys do like and enjoy it, please smash those like and subscribe buttons, like the beast you guys are. And for once, I actually said like when I'm supposed to say like, right? But yeah, so smash those like the beast you guys are, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. So until then, later.